Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about dashboards for data visualization. So, more than 100 years ago, in companies like DuPont, there were like chat rooms. And I really like this concept because at that time there were no computers. Yeah, they didn't have software to visualize data. And this was like the first attempt to show relevant data to the main board of the company. So here they were able to display, like different trends of key variables such as sales, customer service levels, also financial information. So this is they had like big charts with a monorail. They were able to move those charts around the room. So it's a nice concept, and that's an idea of an initial dashboard. It's not interactive, but at the moment with the technology of the moment, it was a really nice idea. And they use these rooms for almost 50 years. All right, now what are dashboards? Well, a dashboard is just a representation of important variables and metrics that we want to visualize, that we want to control in order to make decisions, in order to identify patterns. So pretty much dashboards will show us key metrics in different plots and some tables with the purpose of summarizing data, also helping to understand what's going on, if there are any like trends, or to get some insights on some important variables that are critical for a company. Now there are different types of dashboards. We have operational dashboards. These are like daily or even per hour. You can monitor some specific variables. For instance, in an agricultural setting, if you are using precision agriculture, it's it's critical to measure some variables such as the weather and like the temperature, winds, the pressure, and that information will change per period of time. So in some dashboards, you can keep track of those important variables. Same thing if you are controlling a grid, like a electrical grid or similar. There are some key parameters that you wanna keep track, like to ensure that the system is working properly. So operational dashboards are really useful for real-time monitoring. Now, the second type of dashboard is analytical. Is where we visualize trends. So typically, the typical examples here are like for sales, like how sales are behaving for a company, or let's say for an educational institution, for a university. They wanna analyze like how the admissions and new students trends, that time series. It's important, so they use analytical dashboards, some plots, to analyze the patterns in that data. All right, and then we have strategic dashboards. Sometimes analytical and strategic dashboards they kind of like includes elements of one and the others. Now, in the case of strategic dashboards, these are dashboards that are intended to capture like really important variables, like what they're called typically like KPIs, the key performance indicators for companies, and they will show you the big picture of a company. So typically, executives will analyze some financial metrics, return of investments, like profits, using some strategic dashboards. So I will show you some examples, but before we see examples, this is the idea. So in the x-axis we have like the data, if it's short term or long term, and in the y-axis whether it's like aggregated or not. So initially here we have the operational dashboard. So we use short-term data. That means like per hour, even per days, no more than weeks, right? Then we have analytical dashboards. So these are more like per week or monthly. And the strategic dashboard, those are like per month, quarter, or even years. And of course, the users are different. For operational dashboards, users will be people in operations, staff. In an analytical dashboard will be more like for tactical decisions, so team leaders. The strategic dashboards will be more for senior management. These are the examples. So for the operational dashboard, this is for a call center. Here they are monitoring the calls that are active. They can be monitored per hour, per even per minute, like on real time. How many calls are on hold and how many are abandoned. And at the same time, you can get some metrics, like cumulative metrics for that specific day. So that's operational because again, it's real-time operations. Analytical dashboard. Here we're analyzing the sales and the forecast. So this one, it's per month in this example. So or per week even. So you can keep track of like the forecast error, like what is the trend, if it's increasing or if the gap is constant. So this is important to analyze patterns and make decisions. We use this type of dashboard for EDAs, exploratory data analysis, and the strategic dashboard to monitor like really important or critical variables, KPIs, net profit. Here you will rate of returns, customer service levels, important metrics that are monitored for the strategic decisions. Okay, so what are the key components of a dashboard? So the first one is really important, data sources. So you need to identify which are the databases that are going to feed the dashboard. This is really important because let me tell you that one of the problems that we face in data science is like a lot of models and also dashboards, once they are created, they are not used. There are some surveys that say that based on some anecdotal information or empirical information, they claim that around like 10% up to 20% of these tools, once they're created, are used on a daily basis. And that happens with the dashboards. There is a lot of excitement. Initially, everyone, like it's happy with the dashboard, it looks nice. But then after a couple of weeks, months, no one is using the dashboard. So it's really important that they ensure that the data sources are clear, that the dashboard is connected with a data pipeline that's gonna feed the dashboard without like a huge effort. All right, KPIs and metrics. It's important to define the like what you really wanna analyze or visualize. So you need to talk to the users here. Like the people that's gonna make decisions based on those dashboards, because you need those people on board of the project. The visual elements. So that's the way in which you're gonna display those KPIs or metrics. So we're gonna use the different tools that we have seen so far in the course, like different histograms, bar charts, maps, tables. At the same time, it's important to add some interactivity here, like using filters, sliders, that are going to improve the experience to those users, that are going to enable them to evaluate scenarios, compare variables, and different situations. The layout and the hierarchy is really important. So we need to arrange the elements such that we can tell a story. It's not like random location for each chart. The idea is to like to have like the most important things on top, and then like again as I just mentioned, to tell a story, to be able to tell a story using all the elements within the dashboard. All right, so some important principles. So we wanna our dashboard to be clear and simple. So we wanna avoid clutter. Like there is no need to add like too many grids or too many charts, because that's gonna affect like the way in which users are gonna use the dashboard. Keep in mind always the user, like the people who's gonna use this, that's critical, because remember that in data science, it's not just about collecting data, analyzing that data. At the end of the day, we want to add value. We wanna provide value in the real life. So that's gonna happen only if the design of your dashboard is considering user needs. What is the audience? All right, the logical layout that I just mentioned before, and of course be consistent with the colors and fonts. This is a simple example that shows a before and after for a dashboard. So there are some changes. There are some changes. In the first one, there were no like sections. I mean, there is a title, but then there are no clear sections. But now here, only with some rectangles, now we have some sections that make a little bit more clear our dashboards. Then, if you notice, we get rid of the grid. I mean, the grid here is too dark. So if you see the second plot, we already have the grid a little bit, but it's not that strong, so it doesn't affect that chart. Now the table is bigger in the second one, so to now here you have like more. You can increase a little bit. Actually, if you ask me, you can increase a little bit more the font size, so you can follow the numbers. All right, so there are some small changes that will improve your dashboard and interactivity. Some common errors when people are trying to design or create a dashboard. So sometimes we overload them with data, too many charts, too much information, so that affects the usability of the dashboard. The colors are really important. In my case, for example, I'm pretty bad, like when I'm trying to differentiate some colors. So you gotta think about, like a diverse audience. So it's important the choice of colors. Try to be consistent. Try to be consistent throughout the whole dashboard with the colors. How to create dashboards? There are different tools. You can, I mean, if you want to create a dashboard real quick, sometimes even Excel will work. In Excel, you can create some dynamic tables, some pivot tables, and some dynamic charts that have some filters, and they are useful for creating dashboards. Nowadays, I think more companies are migrating from Excel to Power BI. So in this case, Power BI it's designed for visualization purposes, like for EDAs and creating dashboards. That's the main purpose of Power BI. So it's a easy to use tool that you should. I highly encourage you to try a little bit of Power BI. Now in our course, we're going to use Python. Mainly, we're going to start using Streamlit, which you will see is not that difficult and will help you to create dashboards or even some applications. Dash is another alternative. There are these two are two different frameworks. They are just options that you can use. Now, if you're using R, Shiny for sure is the best option when you're creating applications and dashboards. Now, Tableau is a commercial software also for visualization. Google Data Studio is another alternative. Okay, now what's the future of dashboards? I think that it's the same case of every single area of knowledge, like our discipline or science here in the world. AI, it's arriving to like every single discipline. Same thing here with data visualization and data analysis in general. What you will see is like you will find AI-driven dashboards, and pretty much using natural language interaction, like a prompt. You provide a prompt, and then you will get the plots that you want. So I'm pretty sure that you have experienced something like this in using ChatGPT or similar generative AIs. Now, of course, these will be libraries that are going to be like completely dedicated to data visualization or data analytics in general. So they will be able to perform better. So that's the trend that we will see here. What some have called augmented analytics. Augmented analytics means that AI models will take your data and will suggest what to do with your data. So same thing here with the data visualization thing. So you provide data, and then maybe some plots are going to be provided. Even if you, with a prompt, provide some context about the variables, the importance of these variables, then you will get a more accurate output using these technologies. So I think this is not future, actually, it's more like present. So we will see maybe the what is future is that when most companies start adopting these technologies, they are available right now. Of course, they are not, most of them are not ready yet, but in a short term, they will be ready. So the summary here is like, before you design, before you create your dashboard, define clear goals, listen to the users. That's really important. Remember, we want to add value. It's not just writing a nice code. It's not just about how nice it's our dashboard. What really matters at the end is like how useful is the dashboard. Is the impact that it will create in your organization. So we need to define clear goals. We need to keep it simple, user friendly, and ensure that we really are capturing the important variables. We want to use interactivity wisely. It's not just because I can, I will do it. It's more like it's useful. We need it for this reason. So that's the main idea here. And of course, ensure accessibility and responsiveness. So what we'll do in this unit is that we're going to learn how to create our dashboard in Streamlit. In the next video, I will provide an introduction, and we will create our first 4 dashboards. I'll see you in the next video.